All right, so welcome everyone. Welcome to THSADA members, all 1,200 of you. We're glad you're tuning in for today's webinar. We've tried to provide a learning opportunity for our members by inviting some of our key sponsors to participate in a webinar that talks about how they are making their companies work in these uncertain times and the ways they continue to serve our association. This webinar will be provided to all 1,200 members. It'll be on our YouTube channel. It will be sent out in our news flashes and our email flashes, and also will be sent to these three key sponsors to share with their teams. Without question, this has been a really trying times for us since March through where we are right now. I can recall on March 1st, we were functioning as normal, and then all of a sudden, this issue had kind of invaded us. And we're still dealing with it, and we really don't know what the fall will look like. I know we are all moving forward like we hope we're going to have a normal fall. But I want to begin by saying how much we appreciate you guys for continuing to support our association and also provide services for our members. So I want to introduce the three of you today. We are joined by Joanna Huckabee from Nevco, Mike Lorenz from NGU Sports and Ephesus Lighting, and also Donnie Schmetti with TicketsPicket. Welcome to you guys today. Leading today's seminar is going to be our esteemed Dave Stevenson, who's in charge of our marketing and sponsorship opportunities. So Dave, go ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Bob. It's great to have these three companies who've been very faithful to be a part of the THSADA during this time. I'm going to start off with Joanna from Nevco. Nevco's been around since, I know, at least 1940.
Yes.
When you used to have those old baseball stadiums where you put in the numbers and everything else with the innings and the scores. So been around for a long time. Great presence in the state of Texas. Let's talk about Nevco for a while and what's going on with Team Nevco.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Dave. And thank you to the ADs Association for including us in making such an effort to make sure that we still have a presence during this time. And like Bob and Dave both said, it is challenging, but this is our opportunity to really rise above and show what we're made of. And so at Nevco, although there are changes every day for you guys, we are really hoping to be that constant. So when you do get the go ahead that the game's going to go on and you're going to get to play, we want to be right there and we want to be at the forefront of your mind to make sure that we take care of your needs.
Yeah.
With that said, I want to quickly share some information about what we can do for you even during this time. Let's see here. Okay, so quickly, just a little bit about myself. My name is Joanna Huckabee. I am the Nevco scoring and display consultant for Nevco Sports in the Northeast Texas territory. However, we have got an excellent team of experts that span the great state of Texas and are willing to help you at any moment. My previous experience was actually as a customer of Nevco Sports. I was the director of broadcast and communication for several years at a Texas public high school in East Texas, where I supervised and coordinated all content creation and production within that school district, which did include a Nevco video display at the time. There was a Nevco difference, definitely. I had an opportunity to work with many companies, and when Nevco was present, there was definitely a difference. And some of the things that make that difference so significant, founded over 85 years ago, like you mentioned, Dave, family owned and operated at the time. And one thing we are most proud of is that every piece of equipment that you will receive is manufactured and shipped from right here at our factories in the United States. We boast the industry's best lead times, not only in production, we are still on time, in fact, rushing a lot of orders to meet the needs of our customers, but we also have a 99.9% accuracy on our shipping as well. We're a member of many purchasing co-ops to make that process just a little more simple for our ADs and our coaches and coordinators today. So keep that in mind as well. We can help you out when it comes to video displays, scoreboards, of course, any scoring accessories. We also have accessibility to message centers, which are huge during this time, as well as marquees to get those instant messages out to your students, your community, and your staff as well. Notable projects in the state of Texas, if you've been there, I'm pretty sure you haven't forgotten it. One of those, of course, in New Caney on I-59, we've got Matador Stadium in Seguin, Texas. Dickinson ISD has a beautiful Nevco display, along with Clear Creek ISD, Bulldog Stadium in Carthage, Texas, and Galena Park as well. Some projects that we are very excited that are pushing forward in 2020. You're going to get to see these unveiled whenever we get to do it. They're going to be ready. We've already started construction and are almost finished with a couple of these. Del Valley ISD has got an awesome display going in, featuring 2 custom ribbon boards, 10mm ribbon boards, along with a traditional intelligent caption scoreboard that will accompany that display. Humble going a little bit different. They're going all virtual with a gigantic display on the face of their field house. And finally, Channel View, not quite ready yet, but they will be moving into construction soon. Again, all virtual, also featuring our Stadium Pro sound system as well. When you work with Nevco, here's what you can expect. First thing we encourage all of our coaches, ADs, schools to do is contact us for a facilities assessment. Whether this is done virtually or in person, what we're going to do is just take a look at what you've got. We're going to make suggestions as far as structure is concerned, whether modifications need to be made, whether we can use what you have. We know that budget is going to play an issue. It always does, but even more so now. We know that there are necessities that have to be taken care of. So we're going to make sure that we assess what you have and try to use what you have in any way possible. We're going to look from A to Z, depending on what the goal is for your upcoming project, and we're going to make the appropriate recommendations and provide you with some great options to choose from. Again, we mentioned the industry's fastest lead times. Again, with production and shipping, we've also got a lot of creative payment terms available to meet your needs. We know that this is going to be huge, so whether it's financing, flexible payment terms, zero money down to start your project, or sports marketing as an option, we can deliver any of that to you. Also, we want to mention and make note that we will honor any pricing giving right now through the end of 2021. If your project's put on hold, no big deal. Contact us for that assessment and we'll hold that pricing through the end of 2021. Finally, our experts in Texas, please make sure you give us a call. Our regional manager, Shelly Childerson, our vice president of sports video, Eric Light, and our scoring consultants, Troy Burns, myself, Matt Ike, and Daniel Ware. Again, thank you guys for your support of Nevco. We are here to help you move forward with any need that you may have.
Joanna, thank you so much.
Yes, you bet. Thank you guys.
What a great presentation.
I'm on board.
Mike Lorenz is next. Mike, one of the co-founders of Ephesus several years ago. Love having you on. And we're going to shift from talking about the lights and the scoreboard to just overall at a venue. Mike, when's the right time for our membership to consider upgrading to LED sports lights?
Well, Dave, I appreciate Bob and Dave to be here. Thanks for including me in the event. And just a second on sports lighting. I am passionate about sports lighting, although I'm someone who came into the industry with no lighting background, believe it or not. We formed Ephesus in 2012. We were the first manufacturer in North America to actually manufacture a solid-state lighting system, deployed it early in 2012, and we're leading the market today with our innovation. So while we're a relatively young company in terms of age and time, we're very experienced in solid-state sports lighting, especially for high school venues, and we're part of the Cooper Lighting organization. And I'm representing NGU, a business I started in 2018 to be an exclusive partner with Ephesus to help them develop the market around the country. So when you think about the right time to upgrade your lighting system, as Joanna said, today's a very challenging time frame for people to consider making investments, but I think lighting's crucial and important, and many systems that are deployed today are becoming obsolete. So if you have an obsolete system, a system that's been in place for 10 or more years, chances are that system is degraded to the point where it's really suboptimal for the requirements of the use of that system. So we take a look at the obsolescence, how much energy is being consumed, what the maintenance aspects are, and then what are the requirements today with sports. They're requiring a higher quality light, and frankly, light that does more than just put light onto a surface. So many high schools are adopting solid state technology because of the type of fan experience you can create, the type of impact to the image in the school and the camaraderie that it creates. So there are many factors to consider, and I think this is the time when evaluation of your current system could be very meaningful. We can help you figure that out. We can actually evaluate your current infrastructure, determine what your requirements are, and help you forge a plan from transitioning from older lighting to new lighting with budget numbers and ideas on how you might be able to implement that solution with minimal adverse impact.
Tell me about you mentioned Cooper and you mentioned Ephesus a little bit. Tell me about basically the name Cooper is massive. So tell me about some of the sort of the name changes and the ownership that you've been around, while still knowing that our membership is going to reach out and probably, talk to somebody on behalf of Ephesus.
Sure, I appreciate that. Yeah, so in 2015, we sold Ephesus Sports Lighting to Cooper Lighting. Cooper was a part of a large conglomerate called Eaton Corporation, a large company headquartered in Cleveland, Ohio, and Cooper's headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. Eaton decided in March of this year to sell Cooper Lighting to the former Philips Lighting Company. So we're now part of the largest lighting manufacturer in the world. We've got great resources. Our products are also manufactured in the United States, domestic, and Cooper has been in the lighting business in the United States for over 100 years. So they bring tremendous expertise. They're actually the leading manufacturer of outdoor lighting systems in the world, in outdoor LED lighting systems, and we take that expertise into the sports lighting part of our business. So we're proud to be their partner and the representative in the marketplace.
Yeah, terrific. So I'm an athletic director, and I call you out to basically look at our facilities. Tell me about that sort of evaluation phase where you're talking about possibly upgrading to LED, looking at our facilities. How will I know if my lights are good enough or it's time for a change?
Sure.
Unlike artificial surface, where we may know because of the cushion test and shock test. How can you determine with lighting?
Well, I think we have a pretty simple two-step process. The first involves evaluation. As Joanna said, we are the only company that designed our solutions to take advantage of the existing infrastructure that's in place. So the existing poles, cross arms, wiring harnesses, we can actually repurpose all of that fundamental infrastructure to support your new lighting system going forward. So we evaluate your current light levels, how your lights are performing, and then really understand what's the goal that you have in mind. And as I said, with true solid state computer generated light, you now have entertainment aspects, and you can introduce color, and you can do a lot of dynamic scenes. And we've had tremendous success working with high schools around the country to help them accomplish that. But because we can repurpose most of your infrastructure, your poles and cross arms and your wiring harnesses, the savings in the upgrade is very, very substantial. And I think from our standpoint, that's really what we do best. We really are very good in helping partners transition from old historical lighting to new lighting. And one of the major considerations with LED, there are a lot of different manufacturers, many offshore, some domestic, that are selling LED lighting systems. You need to, I think, consider the reliability of that product. What standard is that light being manufactured under? Cooper has a very, very strenuous system of evaluating the longevity and testing protocols around the system. We just introduced a second generation outdoor sports and recreational lighting in March, actually, which is kind of cool. So I think looking at, how is the light being made? How do you want to deploy it? And then am I buying an LED light that's mechanical, or am I buying a solid state light? And the example is every one of our fixtures has a microprocessor as part of its DNA. So it's actually a very intelligent light. It can really learn and grow over time and allow you to be able to use that system going forward for ways that maybe today were less known.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mike, and appreciate Ephesus being such an integral part of the THSADA.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for including me.
When we talk about what the 2020-2021 academic year might look like, we're not really sure. The big thing that our membership is planning for is maybe not a full stadium, which is the first time that situation has presented itself. So online ticketing is becoming just a huge necessity for our membership right now, and we have Donnie with us with TicketsPicket. Donnie, tell us what TicketsPicket is doing right now to stand out from others to manage ticketing at events.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for the time, Dave, and appreciate the question. TicketsPicket, obviously we have the online ticketing system where people can get their pre-sales in advance of an event. It makes it very easy for athletic directors to also limit the capacity. If they have a reduced capacity this year, that's not going to be an issue. But we also have, in our reserve seating maps, we can set up social distancing measures so that, certain seats can be marked off if you need to have that as well. So it's definitely a unique time, but we have some features in place that can really help with the efficiency there.
So I know you want to screen share and show some other things. So as you do that, I think the biggest thing for our membership are testimonials. So tell us about some of the school districts. I know you're killing it on Twitter. Every time I see, every day it seems that you're partnering with somebody new. So tell us about some of your newest success stories, and we look forward to you screen sharing and tell us more about TicketsPicket.
Sure. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and queue up my presentation here. Here we go. So obviously, we've got the beautiful stadium here in McKinney ISD. This is one of our new customers this year, working with Coach Pratt and his staff. Excited to get going there. And obviously, some other schools in the region, Prosper ISD recently signed up, Arlington ISD. We've been working with Socorro, out in El Paso for a number of years. And Cedar Hill, quite a few of our favorite people that we're really hoping, come this fall, we'll be able to get the football stadiums, filled up and people being safe with their ticket purchasing as well. So speaking of that, I just wanted to kind of mention in today's world, from our conversations with athletic directors, there's a number of things that are new and challenging, but we are trying to keep in mind the social distancing, the limited capacities. But obviously, when fans do come back to these events, we want to provide options for them so that managing cash sales is not, the only way for them to get into a venue. And that's something that we can help with, obviously. But then, if something does happen where a fan attends an event and then we find out that maybe they're ill later on, our system allows you to provide contact tracing so that you can, find out the other people that were at that event and kind of mitigate the risk there, and also, help alert them of the dangers that may be there. So hopefully that's all just precautionary and not actually something we have to do. But the way that we, do these things is, our ticketing platform consists of three main areas. The online ticketing, essentially we take your schedule of events, your ticket prices, any kind of season passes or season tickets that you want to do, set you up with a custom website experience where people can buy their tickets in advance, and then show up with the ticket on their phone. And one of the unique things about TicketsPicket is that you don't have to have your volunteers or your gate attendants scanning tickets. We have a self-check-in method that people can just touch the button on their own device to verify their ticket. Now, if you do want to scan, we do have a scanner app that you can use as well. And then the additional thing we have here is the box office point of sale, which is really your way to accept in-person credit card payments, whether it be at your ticket booth, your concession stand, your merchandise or Spirit Shack, or contactless payments like Apple Pay or Google Pay. So there's a lot of flexibility in how people can do that. If you are still accepting cash this fall, there's also a way to track that through the point of sale. And then a bonus here is our custom paper ticket. So, if you are still looking for a traditional ticket, we really go the extra mile. Our team of designers incorporates your branding, treats those tickets much more like an NFL or an NCAA event than what you might see at most of high school events out there. So that's something that we take a lot of pride in putting together for our schools. I mentioned, some of the schools that we've been working with. So I've listed a few of those out here in the region, but also wanted to mention that we are, currently in nearly 50 states across the U.S., and we are the official ticket partner of the NIAAA, going on our third year of that. So something that we're proud to say. But there's a couple of things that really make us stand out. And Dave, you kind of asked this question earlier, so I wanted to drill down a little further. When it comes to pricing for your fans, obviously anytime you buy a ticket online, there's a convenience fee that's associated with that. But with TicketsPicket, we minimize those costs to your fans. So our fee is just 5% plus 50 cents a ticket. And usually that's going to be about half of what you might see from other companies that are out there. An example here on a $7 ticket, you know, the fan would pay a total of $785. So we do try to minimize those expenses. Another thing is the custom reserve seating. So obviously this seat map is not going to do any justice for that beautiful stadium in McKinney that we showed on our title slide. But, you know, we do design these seat maps to mirror the exact specifications of your stadium, you know, down to the foot square footage. We do have the ability to manage social distancing measures in here and built-in capacities. But people can actually, when they go to choose their seat, whether it's for an individual game or a season ticket package, they can see the actual seat view from that seat. So it is, you know, giving them an idea of what that's going to look like before they purchase. I mentioned the season tickets. You know, that is something, there's no limitation to what you can do on TicketsPicket. Any kind of season pass that you want to set up, whether it's a family pass, a punch pass, and so on. If you need to do season ticket renewals, that's something that we can definitely handle for you. Whether it's sending out email campaigns to your previous season ticket holders, letting them know about renewals and managing that entire process. That's something that we can help with. And then I mentioned the flexibility with the ticket verification. So the scanning is an option with us, and 90% of our current schools choose to do a self check-in where the fan just touches a button on their own device. It's completely contactless, but if you do want to have your gate attendant scanning tickets, that's something that they can also easily do with our platform. And then I wanted to mention our flexible payout structure. You know, we can send you direct deposits, we can send you paper checks. It's really on whatever timeline you like. If you want to receive a direct deposit daily, we don't even have to hold those funds. They would just go directly into your account. But if you want to prefer, you know, a paper check weekly or bi-weekly, we can set that up however you like. And this, you know, I just wanted to kind of leave this here. I think we've kind of already gone through the questions section, but that's pretty much all I have for TicketsPicket. Yeah. I appreciate you guys, you know, giving us the opportunity to present today.
That is fabulous, Donnie. Bob, much has changed since you were your first coaching gig, your first athletic director job. You're no longer using roll tickets. You're having scoreboards the size of the ones down in Humble that are unimaginable, and the lighting system that Mike is talking about as far as LED. I'm sure the stadiums that you coached in had nothing like that.
That's a good question, Dave. When I started coaching, you can tell how old I am by looking at me. We had flip cards for scoreboards. We used car headlights to light our fields, and we just had free admission. Nobody paid anything. So times are a little bit different today.
That was even before the roll tickets, where you just changed the color with the home game.
That was right after the last big war. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, I can't thank you all enough for being here today. This has been personally very educational for me to see. I know how well your companies have performed leading into what happened to us in March, but to hear your work on evolving to better serve our community of ADs and coaches, but also how you have kind of reinvented yourselves to be able to continue to serve. This has been a very trying time for all of us, but I can't help but think that at the end of this, we're all going to be a little better as far as how efficiently we operate because of things that we're having to do. This webinar is a small example of that. Your companies have continued to evolve, and we'll have to continue to do that as we approach the 2021 school year. Just as a reminder, this will be sent out to our 1,200 THSADA members, and they can share it with countless thousands of coaches around the state and probably around the country also. We'll send it out on various social media platforms, make sure that all that want to see it are able to do so. We'll also provide it to your team so you can share with your marketing departments on things that you're doing to keep the message on going. So I want to end today's webinar by thanking each of you for being here today. Joanna from Nevco, Mike from Ephesus, and also Donnie with TicketsPicket. You guys are incredible. I'm going to put your contact information up, and when that goes up or goes off, then that will be the close of our webinar.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you.